talk a little bit about the walking stick for self-defense in response to John Henn's tutorial or video response to this. And I appreciate the knowledge he brings from his background in law enforcement. Again, we don't give advice on legalities, but we need to understand the way things work in the culture and country that we live in. Now, I love walking sticks. I collect them. I'll tell you a little story. When I realized how important a walking stick can be, I was fishing with my buddy when I was younger, and we went into this valley that we had to side hill in through a steep shale embankment. We got to the bottom, we started fishing. He pulled out a bottle of whiskey. One thing led to another. I was probably really hungry that day, I don't know, but I couldn't handle my liquor. Happens sometimes. Anyway, I got really drunk at the bottom of a steep valley. And I had many attempts at getting out of there now. Falling back, falling down, it was terrible. Finally, I picked up this flimsy stick, and it was like wobbling and wiggling as I was walking up. But that stick gave me extra purchase, and I made it to the top. And my friend made fun of me because I wanted to keep the stick because it had saved my life, and I was drunk and I was emotionally attached to it. But anyway, as I got older, less drunken times in the wilderness, but my balance isn't as good as it used to be, and I still like to get into some steep country, and a walking stick is really helpful for that. So, but as far as a weapon of self-defense, now there's good and bad. The good is that it's handy if you're walking around and you get into a situation where somebody wants to rob you or something. Personally, if they had a weapon, I'd just give them what they want and be on my way. But maybe it's a situation where you have to fight back. Sometimes this is forced upon people. If it wasn't, we wouldn't need police officers and a legal system to deal with violent offenders. Anyway, if I get into a confrontation with somebody and I have this in my hand, I have no choice. I have no choice but to either throw it away and possibly give it to somebody else, or use it as first a deterrent and secondly as a weapon, because I am not going to threaten or try to deter somebody with anything that I'm not willing to back up. It's just stupid. If you're gonna deter somebody, you better do it from a place of power and a place of confidence. Also, that's the good thing about it as well. It's always at the ready. So it can, in the right situation, which would be very, very rare, you have a ready weapon already in hand. Now, in another way, this weapon already in hand may increase the level of force, increase the level of legal repercussions afterwards. So, as long as you understand that and accept that, there's no problem. But if you carry a walking stick to protect yourself, be aware that it could be an escalator of force, an escalator of violence, and an escalator of consequences. Now, I hate the idea of a knife for self-defense. I love having a knife, especially if I'm out here in the wilderness. I carry a knife when I go hiking, when I'm out in the bush, and on a daily basis I carry a knife as a tool. If I get into a situation and I have my tool with me, I have a choice. I can leave it in my pocket or if it's a situation where I feel in my heart potential lethal force is reasonable, I can bring it into play. But I have to be aware of when it is appropriate and when it is not. And the reality is there's very few. I mean, I have never in 55 years been in a situation where that would be a reasonable action to use a knife. In fact, I've been in violent confrontations where I've tossed a knife to a friend while I dealt with the threat, because I didn't want him taking the knife from me out of my pocket, and I didn't want to be tempted to use it in a situation where it wasn't warranted. Anytime, whether it's a walking stick, knife, a pen, improvised weapon, whatever, you need to understand that there are consequences in carrying, using, and making weapon-based self-defense your self-defense decision. That's it.